What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Doobie Den, and tonight is the RevX's wrestling review for the 8/15 edition of WWE SmackDown. I am your co-host, Buddha Fire. With me, as always, MJ Hat, and tonight, bro, wasn't too terribly bad, I would say. What's up? What's up?
Honestly, I think tonight's show went fairly decent. What's happening, Giga? Welcome in. Um, there are bigger shows, and this week's been filled with all kinds of wrestling drama and stuff, and so many things to talk about. Let's start with the top first, though. I want to address the viewer. Okay, so give me just a second, guys. If you didn't know, we're currently having a merch giveaway on our Discord. Once we reach 100 people in the Discord, we will be giving away a Revolution X T-shirt, also Doobie Den T-shirt. We try to bring your friends in because as many people as we can get in here, the better. And who doesn't
What
like
is up,
free
Savage
merch?
Darkness? How's it going?
I like free merch. Savage likes free merch. Everybody likes free
Oh
merch.
yeah,
So, 100 people
everybody
on the
likes it.
Discord. That's what we're shooting for. If you guys want to join in the conversation, I'm going to pin this in chat. Exclamation point stage. That'll take you directly to the Discord, directly to the stage. That way you can come up here and talk to us about tonight's event. So, that being said, Buddha, tell us your thoughts, man. What do you think this week?
For SmackDown or for Raw or what?
We'll start off the top. Start with Raw.
All right, so let's just do the recap of Raw right quick, guys. Actually, usually Hat does this, so we're flipping it this week. I like this. Dom and El Grande Americano defeated AJ Styles and Dragon Lee when we seen probably like four extra El Grande Americanos pop out and around and distract as always. Sami Zayn versus Rusev ended in a DQ when the MFT interfered. Sheamus attacked Rusev after as MFTs were dealing with Sami Zayn, and they fought all over the arena like they've been doing for the past couple of weeks. Um, Naomi is apparently injured, so there was no women's championship on Monday night, and there was supposed to be. Uh, in place of Naomi, Roxanne Perez decided to step up, and she actually ended up getting a victory over Io Sky when the Kabuki Warriors interfered, but not in the way they should have, and it cost her the match. Uh, I'd say we'll get like a Rhea and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors down the line a little bit because Rhea's trying to be involved. Io tells her not to be involved, but I'm sure that there'll be more to that as the story progresses.
Right.
And then in the main event, the Bronze versus CM Punk and LA Knight ended in a DQ when Seth Rollins came out and started, taking care of everybody. The heels got the upper hand till Jey Uso's music hit. He comes out, faces get the upper hand, and Adam Pearce comes out and says, "Okay, Rollins, since you want to put your foot everywhere, well, let's see how well you can actually stand your ground." So he makes Seth Rollins defending the title against Jey Uso, CM Punk, and LA Knight, all three in a fatal four-way match at Clash at Paris. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop myself right there for a second. I want your honest input on that because
Yeah. I knew you was going to do that. All right. So listen. Um, where's Roman Reigns? That's
yeah,
my first
exactly.
question. Um, Roman, it should be a part of this story if he's working this program with Bronson Reed. If they're actually going to do this Shu La Fala thing that they're doing, which it seems like they are. He's stealing a new pair of kicks every week. I just, man, I like the idea of a fatal four way match. I don't like the fact that the Vision, as they're being called, is all going to be out at ringside. I don't like the fact that there's going to be a ton of interference. I want to see Seth Rollins defend the championship one on one. There's just too many people vying for it right now. So,
I agree. I agree. I think, but I will say that even that fatal four way in itself is money. Like
yeah,
that's going to be an epic match. Do I see Rollins coming out of this with the title still? Yeah, absolutely. But it's a good way to kind of veer everybody off in other paths without really stepping on anybody's toes, so to speak. If that makes sense, I hope it
exactly.
does. But anyway, so that was actually my point just as well. Is Roman Reigns should be in this feud. Like when it first started out, he was in this feud. And instead of having him in the main feud, they put him with Bronson Reed. I'm sorry. I don't see what that's going to do for Bronson Reed. I really don't see what that's going to do for Roman Reigns.
I mean, a
But
little bit of
hey,
a rub,
I,
I guess, but that's
yeah, I mean, what's Bronson Reed going to say? I got my ass kicked for stealing Roman Reigns' shoes. That's
I
what
mean,
happened.
that is a good line. The next
But
thing I wanted to talk about
while
with
we're
you,
at that,
yeah,
yeah. No, go ahead.
the
Go
next
ahead.
thing I wanted to talk about with you this evening, because
Mhm.
this is big news before we get into the results of SmackDown. Let's talk about Karrion Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux. This is the biggest thing happening in the wrestling world right now.
I
This
agree.
week, Karrion Cross was released from WWE, quote unquote released. I have to say, there's some controversy here. A lot of people think that this is a work. I'm not one of those. And I have to say, I normally can call these things on the head, and I know that Buddha disagrees with me, and that's fine. We'll get into it. But Cross went on the Ariel Helwani show, and he said all these things that you just don't say. Like you don't say, well, gee, golly gosh, sir, I sure would like for me and my wife to have our job back. You just don't do that. That's not how you work an audience. So honestly, I there are several reasons why I'm going to say that this isn't a work. He's genuinely been released, but the fact that he's openly discussing backstage antics, even though this is a world with new kayfabe, I just I don't see him being able to do that if he was under contract. Just my opinion. What do you think?
Okay, so let's cut back a couple months ago when Truth got released, right?
Uh huh.
What happened just as soon as Truth got released?
Hmm.
You had an outpour of support from WWE and this, that, and the other, right?
Yes.
Not you ain't heard a single word about that for Cross, have you?
No.
No, it's not been quoted like that. You've heard of him going on different different podcasts, different shows, stuff like that, and saying the things that he's saying, but not a single. Hey, come on, man. You know just as well as I do when you're in WWE, regardless of what your character portrays, you're part of a family. So you're going to have good relationships with a lot of people there. Somebody's going to get on social media and be like, lost a good one today. Hope for the best for you in your future endeavors. Something to that nature. Something nice to say. Positive, positive vibes, which is great to have. It's what the Doobie Den's all about, guys. Hey,
Hey, what's up?
Minnie Mabel, what's up?
Thank you,
But
Manny.
just saying, like, there's been nothing there. So do I feel as though this is a work as well? Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel as though if it wasn't, they they would have like done something different. I just feel as though this is a work. So anyway, guys, let's get off of that because that's the let's get into the Naomi rumors, and I'm gonna let you tell me about that because you seem to have dove into that a little bit better than
All
I
right.
did.
So the
So
big thing going around right now is that she's going to have to relinquish the title this coming Monday, and that's the big thing this week is because, and I could be wrong, but this is what sources are saying. She's knocked up. She is pregnant. So Naomi will no longer be able to compete at least for the next 10 months to a year.
Minnie, I just read that comment. Wow, thank
Mwah.
you, but wow,
No,
Jessica.
10 months to a year if that's the case. I don't know. Do you think it's possible that when if, let me stress by saying that, when if they relinquish the title, this goes back to being a Rhea Ripley Io Sky show? Or do we see the world title somewhere else?
We're answering this based completely off of a what if right now, right?
Yeah, it's a what if. It's entirely a what if.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. It's got to happen.
Okay.
Like that's the next two in line. That's like where the next like line follows. So
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, would I like to see somebody new in that picture? Sure. Like I don't know. Please forgive me for saying this. Okay. I know you're not the biggest fan of her, but just to throw somebody different into the mix that hasn't
Oh
really
no.
had that kind of shot yet,
Oh no.
throw Lyra in the picture. Now, would you like me to answer as to why? It's very simple.
Lyra Valkyria?
Yeah,
Go
for
ahead.
this simple reason, she can't challenge for the Intercontinental title anymore.
Hmm.
So she doesn't do well in a tag team.
Okay.
When you hold the Intercontinental title, the next way to go is up. What's
Sure.
after the Intercontinental title?
Okay. So what you're saying is you'd like to see Lyra Valkyria enter the title picture one way or another.
I would just like to see her in the picture. Sure. Does she have to win the title? No. Is it a good time for her to be a champion? Not when you got Rhea Ripley fucking destroying shit. Like
No.
Io, I'll give Io every bit of credit in the world. Okay, she takes a beating from Rhea. I'm
All
not
right.
sure that Lyra can do the same thing.
Let me ask you this.
Your thoughts? Yeah.
I don't think Lyra's championship material. I think she's an excellent superstar. I think she has excellent ability, and I think she is very over. But I do not think she is over enough to be competing with the likes of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think a transfer to SmackDown is in her future. Just a thought.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of that, before we end the show tonight, I want to touch on that subject again.
Mm. Okay.
Transfers, transfers and trades. Let's
Okay.
say transfers and trades.
Okay.
Chat, put it in the chat for me. Transfers and trade. End
Here,
of
I'll do it.
show.
I'll do it. Take us into
All right.
SmackDown.
So let's get into SmackDown, guys. Thank you all for being on for already like what 15 minutes going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
and
ranting.
we're just shooting the shit, guys. But appreciate y'all being on with us again. Welcome into the Doobie Den. This is the RevX Wrestling Review, and you are here to hear the recap for the 8:15 edition of SmackDown. So let me welcome you into WWE SmackDown from near my hometown. It's in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm from Northport, New York, so it's not too far away. Before I moved down to where I'm at now, I lived about 30 minutes outside of Boston in a place called Marlboro, Massachusetts. So I love when they come here. I never got to see them when I was there. I was too young to really remember that, really. Anywho, we're coming to you from the TD Garden Arena. Uh, we opened the show with the MFTs coming out. I actually Googled that while we were watching to find out exactly what that meant. And that means my family tree, which is cool because we were going with some, further off shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, Solo grabs the mic and says there's nobody in the back that can challenge him, and Sami Zayn's music hits. Sami comes out to talk to Solo. Solo calls the rest of the MFTs down. He says Solo made him realize that he could do other things instead of just going for one title all the time. He said he's still got time to be able to go for that heavyweight championship, and that will come. But he's going after the other title that he's never held, and that is the U.S. Championship, which is currently held by Solo Sikoa. Solo informs him that he is
That's just me.
want to come on the stage. Yes, yes, yes. Let me read that for you. If you want to come on the stage, raise your hand, and he'll get it in the notification, and then he'll accept it. You can come up on the stage, chat with me and Hat right now. All you gotta do is click that button, guys. Anyway, so Solo tells him he can't challenge for the title because he's not on SmackDown. Sami says, as a matter of fact, starting tonight, again, while we're talking about transfers and trades later, Sami Zayn is officially a member of the SmackDown roster. And because of that, he's coming after that title and he's coming after him, which this obviously starts a brawl that gets Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu coming out to make the save on Sami. Gets Nick Knowles out there and he says, you know what? Main event tonight. You six can battle it out however you want to. Any three members of the MFTs versus Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu. So that gets us our main event for the evening. Then we get a Chelsea interview in the back. Byron asked her basically, "Hey, how did we get to this point?" And instead of answering the question, they shoot off the question, got pissed off, and walked away.
All
And
right.
after that, that leads us into match one, which is going to be
All right.
you,
Hold on
bro.
now. Hold on. Hold on. Let's process what's happened so far, okay? So
Dumb.
Sami Zayn transfers to SmackDown, and
Yes,
he
sir.
wants a U.S. title shot. That's where we're at, right? All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
So match number one was a singles match. It had Piper Niven taking on Alexa Bliss. Alexa Alexa took a lot of beating during this match. This was mostly Piper's match. It was very quick though.
Agreed.
Um, had more action in the commercial break than it did the actual match. There was even a segment where Piper put horns on her head and started running around like a bull. Uh, Bliss got the roll up, and there was an aftermatch beatdown. Chelsea Green and the Secret Harvest, they beat the crap out of Alexa and Charlotte, which I have to say I'm okay with because they're kind of protected. They're the champions right now, and it just made the Secret Harvest look good tonight, which they don't get that a lot. So they deserve one every once in a while. Um, then we got an interview. I'm sorry, not an interview. It was a backstage segment where Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill were arguing with Nick Aldis. As Nick's every week goes, he's in every backstage segment getting yelled at by talent. Um, Nia Jax walks in and tells Jade to back up. She's got Tiffany first. Well, Tiffy just looks her dead in the eye and she says, "Bring it. Come on." She ain't scared of neither one of these women. However, I do have to make a honorable mention to Jade Cargill's attire. She had them puppies taped up way too high, way too high. I mean, the nips were
my,
like right here.
my
It looked
wife
like
was like,
this,
Jade needs to
and
fix them nipples.
I'm no one to judge. I know they have to tape themselves up, okay, but at the same time,
Right.
man, come on, let's
Like,
manage them girls a little better. Um, which took us into match number two.
all right. So before we get into match two, let me touch on one thing.
Hmm.
Just off the Chelsea Green and the Secret Harvest attacking the tag champs, I think that sets up a tag team title match, and I'm going to say that I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
They're not going to win the titles, no, but it keeps them relevant. Like you said, they deserve something kind of good every so often. Give them a shot at the titles, even if they don't win. It still keeps them relevant and keeps that story pushing for them.
Well, okay.
Okay?
Alexa Bliss won the match, right?
Yeah, right.
But the Secret Harvest, they stood tall at the end, which is what I'm talking about. Yeah, they
Yeah,
need the boost. Absolutely.
exactly. And what better way to boost them than to be like, okay, since you beat them down, we're fighting champions. We'll give you a shot at them.
Right.
It gives them more relativity. Okay. As far as the backstage segment, there was nothing there. Nothing
You
there.
good?
Match
You good?
was tag team match. Oh god, no! Like some segments don't need to make TV.
No.
Let's just go.
No.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
Nia Jax don't need to be in that picture again. No.
No.
Triple H. No.
No.
Just no. Let that
No.
shit go. All right, so match two was a tag team match, guys, which they had. I was so impressed when I seen this too. Mello Don't Miz actually has a graphic and everything now, and please forgive me for saying it like that. I
No,
know
you're
it
not
sounds,
wrong.
but like why? Why spend the money on it if you know that you're not keeping this team together for a minute, which we all know that. Anywho,
Okay.
back
Hold
to
on.
it.
Let
Yeah, go
me
ahead.
let me just say, a 5 year old could have made that graphic. Okay, that didn't cost them a
Right.
dime. They have designers on site. So continue.
They still have to pay them, is what I'm saying.
They're getting
That
paid
wasn't worth.
anyway.
It's not worth paying for.
They're
Just
getting paid
saying.
anyway.
Cheers, by the way. So you just hit your vapes. I hit my
Yeah.
tea. Anyway, Melano Miz takes on the team of Fraxium, which Golden what?
So like banana, banana.
Oh, right.
Vinny,
I've
you know
got
what I'm talking about.
Ice Blue
Banana.
Dragon.
Hmm.
Ice Blue Dragon. Mm-hmm. Good shit. Anyway, this match was a actually very good match. A lot of high flying in this match from Fraxium and Mello, and
Yeah.
Miz actually took off the top rope as well.
Yeah.
Um, Miz and Hayes end up getting the victory. It wasn't really worth a lot of like recap, but they end up getting the victory. But the victory was a little interesting as Milo was setting up for, I think he calls it nothing but net. Miz
Yeah.
tags himself in, hits the skull for crushing finale, gets the pin and the victory. He gets up, he's all happy about it, and you can obviously look over in the corner and see that Melo is completely pissed off,
I mean,
rightfully so. Let me say,
yeah.
and I guess it just kind of clicks with him. He's like, you know what? Hey, we got the victory. We'll do high fives. They cut back. Um,
Mm,
I want to touch on this for a second.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me too. Go ahead though.
In no way whatsoever, in no reason whatsoever. That might have sounded stupid, but just follow with me. There is no reason in this world that you should not have some kind of medical update within a week.
Oh, Cody. We're talking about Cody.
Unfortunately, we get told tonight that a week later, and there is no medical update on Cody Rhodes.
All right. They don't
I call
want to.
bullshit.
Yeah, they don't want to release it to the public right now because Drew might have actually kicked his head off. So
Yeah,
honestly, he's probably taking a vacation. He's probably got a week or two saved up in PTO, and he's probably just out the door right now. Which after the bout with Cena at SummerSlam, sure, I'm okay with that. But just tell us that you don't have to do this medical update bullshit. Just saying.
I really have nothing to add to that. I
No,
find it to be very stupid. I hate this. We have kind of the same, but a very lightly conflicting views of how a champion should be approached. I feel as though a champion should be there every week. Hat believes they should be there most of the time.
yeah, 75%.
I can still agree to that. Yes, you should get time off, maybe a week in between. However, if you're trying to build a storyline, I don't feel as though attacking and then some dumb shit like they decided to come up with tonight it is a viable way to go with that.
All right. So since we're talking about Cody Rhodes and
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre, I don't know where
Yes.
you left off on the notes, but have we made it to Drew's segment yet? Because
Uh, no,
this
no,
this
almost,
seems
almost.
well. Take us through this segment before that, and then we'll talk about Cody.
All right, so we get another Tiffany segment in the back. This time she runs into Kiana James, who is the voice for Julia, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not really there to like conflict on that. She's actually there to offer her services. Tiffy said she was a champion before she met her. She doesn't think she needs her. She's good. To which
Right,
Kiana James grabs her and says, "Well, if you're not with us, you're against us."
right.
Like Tiffy knows, okay. Every week, like the promo she did, even though it was pointless earlier, she looked solid in that promo. Why? Because she's starting to feel that character. She's starting to become that confident champion. The
Right.
promo she pulled tonight when she looked Jade and Nia both in the face and told them both, "I'm not scared of you. If you want it, come get it." That is that's the vibe we need from Tiffy Stratton going forward. We
I
get
feel like
that.
that's all we needed.
That I think if we get that Tiffy and she can continue to mold that character around herself,
Yeah,
I feel as though she continues to be champion for a little bit. But anyway, that
absolutely.
actually does lead us into the Drew segment, bro, that you were interested in. So please
Yeah.
take it away.
If you don't mind, I'd like to. So Drew McIntyre made his way to the ring. It's announced at the beginning of the show he's got something to say about Cody. Cody, 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 Cody. Everybody's talking about Cody. He has laid claim to the number one contendership
Oh,
spot. He tells them not to provoke him because he's the real nightmare. Now, I have to say that this out of Drew McIntyre, I like Drew. I think he deserves a title shot. Okay, I'm not by no means am I faulting the man on that front. I think his promo work though is atrocious. I think that he hold on. I think that he doesn't know how to work a mic. I think he struggles to articulate the things he's trying to say. and I kind of felt like that he's on repeat with the CM Punk stuff. I don't know why, but when he was talking to Cody tonight,
Mhm.
because that's who he was addressing, he wasn't addressing us. When he was
Right.
talking to Cody, he made himself the victim, like he always does. That
Like
side
he
of Drew
always does.
McIntyre, I don't care for that. That's I like Drew. I think he's a hell of an athlete. I think he is world champion material. I think he is top tier, up there with Cena and Orton and Cody and Seth. He's up there with the bigger names. Absolutely. Do I
Absolutely.
think do I think that he and Cody will put on a great show at Clash in Paris if that's where we're going with this? Probably.
Oh yeah.
Captain, what?
What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Uh,
So
Profits.
to touch on what he's saying there, Drew's mic work, I feel as though it gets away from him. Like he can start building really well, and then it's just like he drops the ball. Like when he started going out and like going outside and showing the stuff that he did like tonight, moving the table and where he kicked him in the head. Like we didn't need, like we watched the replay. Like he made sure to show the replay, but then he wanted to take us through it in like a voice acting and acting it out. I didn't need that. I know that's probably that's not him. Okay, that's somebody telling him what to say because they all know what to say. They have a fucking voice piece in their ear every time they go out. However,